So today the focus is on interpretation and all the ramifications of that. And we'll play each phrase or whatever, and then we'll decide why we're phrasing things or whatever. Because in here, from the last rehearsal, we don't play anything without phrasing. I mean, we just don't do that, or interpretation. Somebody might say, when do you play espressivo? And of course, my view, espressivo is in every piece of music. It's all over the music. So this will be more of an explanation of that. And then, as usual, there are a few other things that I'll want to point out as we go on. Using the words to the tunes is a little tricky because most of the tunes have been altered, at least rhythmically, and in a lot of cases they're melodically, not drastically altered. For that. So right away, the first tune that we hear in the whole piece has been altered rhythmically, which is fine. So that sort of gets us away from saying that we have to lean on the words to figure out what we're going to do. But then there's the second movement, which is a totally different game. So we'll start the way we did and read through the first phrase. Okay? So where is this phrase peeking out? Here, anybody have a clue or want to just give us an idea maybe? Naturally, I'll tell you. Okay, we're going for the F. And it's the highest pitch, not because it's the highest pitch, but that's what's going to end up. The most important, not most important notes, but if you notice the 16th notes are all important, okay? I'd really like us to have more of a bounce when we hit B, okay? So we arrive at whatever bar that is, and that would be, I'm not sure, is it 6, 7, whatever the bounces are? Yeah, then we did that, but let's make sure, let's bounce a little lighter with a little more of this. The other thing is that by the time you get to the 18th bar, we've had about every volume there is. If you look at your parts, you've got pianissimo, piano, mezzo forte, forte, and fortissimo. So we want to display that a little more, okay? Having said that, when we arrive at 18, we're really not going to play fortissimo individually. I mean, that's part of the game. So we want to open up what I call a dynamic spectrum in every performance. What's the most forceful sound, what's the softest sound, and the more you stretch that out, the more interesting it is for everybody else. So if we can do a drastic diminuendo so we can play extremely light playing the first phrase of the tune, that would be terrific. So let's start this again and see how soft we can play the beginning of the phrase, all right? You could phrase up like that. I would prefer that we phrase back a little. Beep, bop, 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 beep, bop, bop, like so. Okay? I mean, you follow the contour of the notes, and that's a good way to phrase sometimes. In other words, you can give a little more sound as the melody goes up in pitch and a little less. That's an okay way to start, but you don't have to do that all the time. I would prefer that we phrase back at the end of the phrase. Everybody understand how that's going to work? Let's start right in the pick up to the 5th bar then. Is it possible to play softer? Okay. Yeah, if it is. Yeah, I prefer that so we have more of a subito mezzo forte. Bop, bop, beep, bop, up, bop, bop. And you notice what we're doing in the following 16th notes is what? Thicker. Ya-da-da-da-da. Okay? Great. So that's how that first phrase is going to land here, right? Once again, that was much better. If you can play softer, fine. Are we on the edge of not sounding well? Then we'll stay where we were. That's it. phrasing in the fortissimo section, and if you want to mark that, that's okay. We're still going to go for the F, if you notice, but when we play the figure after that, ba-dum-bop-bop, and all that, that's going to be more rather than less. So we change that, and that's in, if you want to make any changes on that at all. Is anybody really playing fortissimo then at 18? And the answer, of course, is no. Is it fortissimo? Sure is in this piece, isn't it? All right, 18 again, guys. Pick up 2. Right, and that's fine, okay? And someone hearing this might say, I can't hear the clarinet very well. Good, because that sound is in there, okay? Now, when the flute solo comes in an octave higher, you don't have to be too soft to play that, I mean, if you'd like, okay? Yeah, let's play, I have to get the numbers straight here. 31, I'd like to hear the people playing the accompaniment, if we could do that. This is in the euphonium and the horns and the clarinets, okay, guys? You know what that is? But it's 2 before the double bar, right? And yeah, what I'd prefer to hear is more of Jack, even though you're playing slurs. So you play back, you go ahead and lead, if you would, and more, okay? It's a very subtle thing to do, but it's more interesting. And what I'm going to ask the clarinets to do, and you're playing very musically, and that would be okay for a lot of people. I prefer we hear more dee-da, 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 just a little, okay? Because we've got this going very cantabile, so it'd be really nice to hear the rhythm that's behind that. Once more. Good, that's fine, guys. Good for you, right? And my view is that, as a listener, that will have an impact on what he's doing there because of the incredible difference there. Okay, guys? Again, somebody else might stand here and say, play it legato, and they're just as right as I am, right? I mean, that's the way life works there. If I was listening to that and they did that with conviction, I think, well, that's interesting too. Okay, so that's okay. All right, let's play right there, everybody. 2 before the double bar. That's okay too. My own ear says I'd like to hear the octave F. Dee-da-dee-ah. Okay? Not kind of a sort of a portamento that would happen there. Okay? Great. One morning in the month of May, how lovely shone the sun. Month of May. So I'm after that. So we're going to promote May here. Okay? Great. Same place, 2 before. Fine. No, that's very good. Another spot, 2 before 49, if I could hear the oboe, the clarinet, and the horn, okay? And then horns, when you come out of the figure, if you want to give us more pa-pa-pa-pa-pia, you see what that is in the 49? So that's going to be shorter with a little more impact, just similar to what they played, okay? Great, so let's play that. 2 before 49, just those folks. And right, now that shortness then is in the cornet and trumpet part. So you've got right. That's very unique there, and it's a special spot. So you listen to that, and that's what you're going to connect to. Let's play that again. And then we have another something else happening over here. 2 before 49, 2, ready, and. Right, right. So both times when you play the offbeats, just like so, just so it's short, and we'll hear it just fine. The next thing to promote then is 49, 50, 51, horn, second cornet, euphonium, dee-da-da-dum. We want you phrase up because you'd like to, and it feels just right. Okay? And 52, okay, when you arrive on that, the second cornet, trumpet, and first, second horn, now you have the syncopated quarter note. So it's going to be da-da-da, ba, ba, like so. See how that phrasing is going to go there? It's a great spot there. Right? Let's start right at 2 before 49 with those folks, and we'll just see if we can play this. Ready, and. But da 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 ba. Make the 3-note slurred figure an anacrusis to the accent. You see what I'm saying? Da 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 ba. Great. Everybody does that anyway because it feels like it should, which is terrific. All right? Same place, please. 2 before. And that's what we'll do there. Very nice. Okay, guys, let's go back to the 33. And away we go. Pick up 2. Thank you. 2. And. Nice phrasing. This is a spot where the worst thing I could do is explain it. I'd ruin everything. That's just the way that goes. Great. Now, the second time we wanted a little less. Yeah, so I wanted to tell the woodwinds that we're not going to change your volume at all. Okay? You just stay right with where you are, and it's just strong, isn't it? Would you say you're playing maybe forte personally? Yeah, a little bit. So we're just going to temper that back a bit. To say it's fortissimo forte even might be a little not so much. Okay? So let's play the end of that if we can find it. 81 maybe? Okay, last phrase. Well, long phrase, but that's the way it's marked. All right, here we go. Picardy third we talked about. Let's just do this, okay? What is this really a Picardy third? Anybody know what the purified version of a Picardy third might be? I wouldn't think you would. Good, we're going to find out, because there's another one, okay? Would you play the chord, guys, the tie, without the concert F and the horns, okay? So the first and second horn parts, you have the octaves there. We're going to leave that out, okay? So just play that comfortably, okay? The tie. Sounds pretty nice. Now we'll place the horns in. So if you play that strong. Right. You're the ones that make that seventh was what makes it happen. So you have to come out of the texture a little bit because it's pretty strong, okay? And the scoring is fairly wide there, okay? Great. Let's play that chord once again with the strong horns playing that. Yeah, and where's that going to go? If it's a seventh, a little low. So don't be afraid to favor it down so we can turn that, okay? I don't have to tell the B-flat folks to get that up in pitch, but that's the idea, okay? So it'll really resonate. And that's what gives it the dissonant juice it needs here. Plus it's an inversion. Yeah, okay, here we go on the first Picardy third here. We'll let that ring, okay? Great, thank you. Yes, that's all right. The trick is to come in as softly as possible, right? In the place. It's very difficult to do, okay? Good. What I don't have to do here is tell you what to do with your air because you already know what to do, but do that anyway, right? Use a vibrato here, okay? Yeah, a little bit quicker as you get up around the high Fs, okay? Now, this F minor starting point, you don't know much about the tune, you probably don't remember this. This is a reminiscence. In other words, obviously it's a person, a lady who's not 12, I wouldn't think, okay? You know, I once loved a boy, I once loved a boy, a bonny boy. So he was pretty good because he was bonny, okay? Yeah, so that's why we like to stretch that out a little bit. And also, I once loved a boy, so it's the opposite portamento of the F that went this way in the first month. Now the F's going to go that way. So if you can think, a boy, a bonny boy. Okay. The other thing you've got is a tenuto A flats. Yeah, let's give those a little more do, ya, da, dee, da, da. Okay, like so, right? So this hush would be the lady probably in some sort of sedentary position of repose, and for some reason she recalls this bonny boy, and she might be 80, and it just sort of, there he is. So that, in my view, is what it's almost like her breath is coming out, and here comes this bonny boy. So you get the idea? Good. Let's do it. Yeah, now we don't want to do any more than that because the line we're trying not to cross, we're playing piano, is to cross over mezzo forte. So it's a little more subtle than that. Okay, so let's redo that business that this isn't piano, this isn't mezzo forte, this isn't forte. We know this, but let's reiterate that. Okay, there are people out there who say, well, it's got to be soft all the way through, and anybody who has a straight line in music, that's a bit of a danger point. Okay, yeah, and we don't want to make volumes straitjacket, you know. So again, my view is we're going to play between mezzo forte and piano here, there. So if we do any more than that, it'd be a little more than we'd like. So the word interpreting all of these phrases in this piece is subtlety, and that's the whole game here, all right? They won't know the words out there unless I put them in the programs on a separate sheet, and I've thought maybe I should do that, but then they wouldn't know which one is which, so I haven't decided what to do yet. Okay? And I don't want to sing them before you play each movement. That would be as unfortunate as the last rehearsal, but don't you think that would be probably pretty darn important so they could at least hear the words to this, okay? Or we know what they are. Yeah. Yeah, if you notice, I would prefer that the first crescendo diminuendo is more body up to our famous F. F is very popular, of course, you know, a lot of F minor. And then the next phrase where we all crescendo, I'd prefer that that's less, the pianissimo that he writes. So he purposely wants this to be softer than the first one that he has. And to say there are any words here is a little, maybe not so much. And if you listen to this, it's almost like the ladies at the end of this phrase and sort of has a sigh. Like that. So if we just sort of that subtle, that would be terrific. Okay, great. Okay. Number. Pick up to 10 so we can play the second phrase. Good. Pick up to 10. Phrase this the same because it's just another color. In other words, we're changing the color of the orchestration. Now, the accompaniment theme, what I'm after, we've got lots of Fs again, so I'd like to do the opposite. The F is going to be passive, and the eighth notes are going to come out of the F. Okay, guys? And notice when you arrive on the suspension, we're going to come off the suspension, the da-da-dee. Okay? Her thoughts are becoming more involved. Things are crystallizing here. This is my view of the second thing. Right, 22? No, not good. Where does that start? 20 or something? Yeah, yep. snares that will overtake the melody, so balance, which is what we don't want to do. So we'll have to make a choice before the concert as to we want the tune to play out more or you less, because it's a real challenge to play this because it's all above the staff and it's in octaves, which makes it a little more. So and he does say mezzo piano to the tune. So plan on the bassoon euphonium plan. Once you play that out, go ahead and play out a little more. You want to listen to the melody closely the first few times, especially ba, ba, yada, the tenutos on the A flat, so we can have the same phrasing that we had with those folks, okay? Let's just start bar before 23, and we'll get into that, okay? Bar before 23. Get the idea of what we're doing here, guys? Good? Use a vibrato in my view here, okay? I think that would sound terrific again. Good, good, good. I'm not sure who's singing now. I'm not sure who's this. Can't be her here. So maybe she's there and he's singing this tune back to her, okay? Maybe that's Bonnie Boy, okay? Makes sense since it's a tenor voice, huh? All right, here we go. If you don't agree, that's okay. We'll just play the tune, all right? Really polite, go ahead and search. All of a sudden, ya-dee-da-dee, forte, yep, okay? And what a thing to do, okay? Then the tune, that's where the triplets are. So we can really, da-da-da-dee, ya-da-dee, okay? And we can stay there. That diminuendo doesn't have to happen right as we get to it. We really don't have to do that. What's a good spot to start here, huh? 8 before 43, if you need a decision on that. The crescendo diminuendo before the crescendo, okay? So we're 2 bars before the forte. That makes sense to everyone? Got that? Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. So that sounds good to me. What do you think? Good. Okay, it's your solo. Okay, great. That's just fine. If you want to play the concert C out even more, why don't you go ahead? It's marked mezzo forte? Yeah. Good. Let's start on the forte. Let's make sure we've got the release that happens in the trombones and that right bleeding, but right on 1 there, so it's cleaner. Okay, guys? Okay? Are we 5 before 43, I would presume. Is that right? Yeah. And we sing out. Got the idea of bells there. Well, I'm after very soft bells. If you can imagine, hand bells. You can barely hear hand bells. You know how they are? That's why they play in the churches, I guess, because there's stone maybe in there. So it's kind of that oh, oh, oh. Okay, can we play that? Yeah. So let the metallic part of that be the actual metal, which is that. All right, here we go. All right. Yeah, so it's D, up, D, up. So you can hear the bells swaying this way, which is maybe a bad imagery, but that's what I have in mind. In the tune, guys, take a look at the third bar on this on the concert C. Isn't that? Do you have a quarter note? Yeah. Ba rather than ba. Bum bum dee dum bum bee da 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 dee up ba ba. Should be extreme contrast to this, the folks playing the staccato there. Okay, good. 43. Same thing. Ba ba da dee da da.
That one should be long too?
Yeah. If you know, we're phrasing up da da dee dum bum ba. It's the end of a motivic phrase. If you want to get fancy and theoretical about it, be dum bum ba da 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 da. See how that is? Okay. Want to try that again? Good, because we're going to. 43. Yes. Good for you. And. It's a huge balance problem. It's pianissimo for the accompaniment, and they're playing soft enough, but we can't hear that. So is it possible to play this softer for all the accompaniment folks? Yeah. Okay, great. What I'm after in the clarinet, flute, E-flat clarinet, third clarinet business is dark, 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 light, 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 da, 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 light, 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 or brighter if you want to put it that way. So that first pitch the clarinets play, that can be more. Yeah, can we play that? Just the accompaniment. We're at 58, guys. So just the eighth note accompaniment here. Good. And. Yeah, so it'll be ya da 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 da. Light, 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 dark, dark, dark. Light, light. Make sense? Yeah. Now the melody's marked forte, mezzo forte. So it might be closer to forte personally to get through all this business. Okay, good. All right, 2 before 60. Better, thanks. And. Very good. Yeah. Yep. Great. A couple things here. Some nice phrasing things that work great, and let's not talk about that either. It would spoil the moment. Okay. Good for you. That's going to sound great. Another crescendo. We really have to arrive. Ya da dee da dee da dee da. All these C's have to be heard because of this canonic cascade or something that just sort of does this, you know. So if you put a tenuto every time you play that, that'll really help. Okay, so take a look at that. That's before 78, right? So the piccolo flute clarinet business, all right, that bar, okay, and alto saxophone, the first cornet, dee da da da, all of that. So just more dee da 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 dee. A little tenuto give us the, we can hear it then. Let's start right there. That would be 4 before 78, and then we'll go back. Is that right on the forte there? Let's just do that part, right? Yeah, now I'm going to ask the folks just playing the harmony just to diminuendo a little quicker than they do, okay? So you just get out of the way quicker than that, all right? You can obviously stay, and you have forte written, right, as you play those attacks. Good, here we go. Right. Sounds kind of strange when it's just isolated like that, but that's the idea. All right, 2 before 60, we'll keep going. And we'll go right back to the beginning of it. And. That's the general picture, okay? Yeah. Here comes my Bonnie boy again. I'm not sure she's singing. She's probably remembering it, and my view is it starts to fade away, if you notice. You notice, too, is it the same tempo? It says out tempo. Is it really the same tempo as the beginning? Here. It's a little slower, and I think it just has to be that pace. What I prefer is a little more string bass so we can get a little more of the... That would be great. Okay? The tubas are too pure. Now, enjoy that pure word, boys, as much as you possibly can. All right? But I would prefer that. Yeah. And the contrabass, it won't be too loud there. It'll be that darkness to me is almost like your mind starting to just sort of shut off or something. And then it's almost the last breath. Now, this isn't the Mahler Ninth Symphony where it ends with him, leaving his breathing there. However, it would have, to my view, that sort of thing, and then it's just goes. So maybe it's the last thing she ever thinks of is this fellow, okay? All right, 78, pick up 2. Oops, sorry, can't do that. One thing I do want to do here, when you release on the third beat, it's the bar before 78, okay? And it's in the clarinet parts, in the horn parts and such. If we can get into the third beat, because you are passing that right back to the trombones. So it goes like this, woodwind, and so on, and then all of a sudden there's a color change there. So that's a beautiful subtlety, okay? All right, let's start, I hate to do that whole thing again, but no, I don't want to do that. Let's just start before 78 at the forte once again so we don't spend any more time with this. That's the idea. That long, maybe longer. Great, thanks. And you could hear the same process to the trombones at the end. Good, okay? Yeah, what I'm after here in the beginning is D-yada-up, D-yada-up. We find D-yada-up. My view, the 16th note should have more juice. D-yada-up, okay? There it was. A farmer's son, he kept up, okay? This is very upbeat, and the farmer's son's very happy with his sheep there. So a little more of that. That's the da-da, okay? Great. Nice playing, guys. Good for you. Beginning once again. You can feel the anacrusis, beat, go ahead. And Jack, you want to lead that one again since you're the pizzicato fellow there, just like we did in the first one. That would be terrific. It just feels like it should do that, right? Great, beginning is exactly right. That first note's really what? Ba, D, get up, right? Staccatissimo. Okay, we've been in all this minor, and oh my goodness sakes, okay? And next time we do this, by the way, I'll point out what happens at the end. Did anybody notice what happened at the end of the second movement that another Picardy third, but it's a real Picardy third. It's absolutely dominant root position, minor into root position. I mean, that's the real Picardy third there for all you theorists, okay? So here, and ending like that, so the more brilliance we can get, then the contrast of this would be just terrific, all right? Here we go. When they ask, because the scoring is unique, and I think it's bar 13, right? It's Mark Pinner. Can we play that even softer? Is that possible? And really short. Okay? Great. Everybody turns into crystal. You think of that. It's got that beep, beep, that thing. Or we're all one harmonic triangle or something. Okay? I'm trying to tell you what's in here. That's not very good, but that's all I can do. All right, at 13. Good. Is that the right bar? It is? Oh, good. Well, let's all play there then. A little more, and that's instinctive, and that's terrific. We just don't want to get too much more, okay? And I'm going to ask the flute piccolo guys to play with a quicker vibrato, if you would. Deep, and especially when you arrive on the G. Deep, but that'll be terrific. Great. Here we go. We could play bop, 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 maybe beep, bop, 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 beep, bop, 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 bop. Let's phrase back there because we have our choice. If we could do that, that would be great. Okay, great. If you want to be more comfy on the G, that's okay because you've got all these octaves. If you feel like you want to play out more, that would be fine. Okay. Blow away the morning dew. Ba, 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 ba. All right, here we go. What? Da, 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 da. That you weren't sure, and it was just right. So play with confidence, but the same. If we could play the shorter, that would be terrific, where we sit on the B flat business. Everybody know what I'm saying? Oh, then ba. And I've asked the trill as quick as possible. So it's a real. If it's slow, it won't work there. Yeah. 6-1. 6-1. That's great. It's really strange that you crescendo to a forte back there. I mean, it's so lovely here, you know. The trees that grow so high, the leaves have gone to the tip, all of a sudden, okay? So again, we need another Cookie Monster to come out of there and give us one of those. They're going to phrase this da yada 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 anyway, right? I mean, it's just natural triple phrasing that rolls like so, but for some reason he wants you to really punch there. So let's really punch and a little shorter, okay? Here's 71 maybe. Yeah, 71. I don't want to isolate it and just stop and have you play it again. Even more tut-tut-tut-tut, in my view, okay? So it's loud enough, but even more crisp, so it has more to it. In other words, we got da-ya, da-ya, da-da, like so. Da. Okay, here we go, 71. Notice where the accompaniment theme, we're going more to the 16th notes. Like so. So a little more of that, okay? We can expand more. We're at fortissimo. So whatever is next doesn't make any difference. We're not worried about piano going through mezzo forte or something, right? That would be 89, right? 89. Pick up 2. And. Ross, I'm going to ask you to change the phrasing on the repeat. Beep, bop, 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 and we'll phrase up. Variety is the spice of life. One little motive, but boy. Notice the first ending, yat, dot, 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 bop. And then the second ending is like we played it. So it's a definite ending. All right, 71 maybe? Give me a number here. I'm not looking at the score. You know. Hmm? Yeah, back to the beginning of the, after the second inning, go back. Beginning of, yeah, the whole bid there. Yeah, there it is, yep. You can't get out of here. Right. So I didn't stop at this beat, but up. I know it's staccato, the dotted eighth, but a little more. D, da, 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 D. We're playing it very short, and we don't want the dotted eighth to be just as short as a 16th note and an eighth note. D, da, da, okay? Good? On the DC. going to slow down that much, and I think if we do more, it would distort the end. So it's a bit of a rallentando there, okay? Great. Won't that be fun? It'll be terrific. Thank you so much.